Hey everybody, welcome back. My truck threw a P2101 code maybe? I don't know. I'll stick the video in here. But anyways, it threw a code that says it's throttle body related, and I've been having issues for the last month and a half or so with it running kind of rough, idling weird, airflow problems. I pulled the throttle body off in the parking lot at work one day, probably 6 weeks ago or something, and cleaned the throttle body real good, put it back on. Didn't resolve it, went and got some mass airflow cleaner, cleaned the mass airflow sensor, tried unplugging the connector from the mass airflow sensor to see if it choked the truck out. Mass airflow sensor seems to still be good. Well, it threw another code the other day, gave me a no start, and then when it did start up, it was absolutely clapping, just idling just wildly. So I completely replaced the throttle body the other day, and in the process of that, so replaced the throttle body that you can see there, also replaced the fittings on my cold air intake. That the K&N 77 series comes with plastic, and I replaced those with stainless steel because when I was pulling the throttle body off to replace it, instead of just clean it this time, the plastic fitting broke. So I suspect that's where my vacuum leak was, that it was already cracked, but have fixed that, and now the truck seems to not be starting with any sort of regularity. I mean, I could get in right now and it may start, but it may take me 10 tries to get it started. Had the battery tested, had the alternator tested. Those both check out fine. From everything I've seen on the internet, from searching Reddit and searching some Facebook groups and kind of all that sort of stuff, it looks like it's probably the starter. So I have ordered a new starter, and that's the order of business for today, is to throw a new starter on the truck. There are plenty of videos from people that are probably better at this than I at explaining it, but I'm going to put a new starter on my truck today. First thing is going to be unhook the battery, since we're going to be dealing with electronics. But then second is going to be taking off the front tire, well, jacking the truck up, taking off the front tire, taking off the fender well liner, so that we can get to the electronical components on the side of the starter before getting under the truck and coming up and taking the bolts out of the bottom. But I need to disconnect the battery and get the wheel and the fender liner off, and get moving here. So here's a cool fact about my truck that I figured out when I was trying to do the spark plugs. For whatever reason, one of the torque screws won't come out of my fender well liner, so I just have to bend it down out of the way. But here we go. So this right here is your starter. That's your heat shield on it. That's your heat shield over the connection. That's your ground power cable coming from the battery. So that is, I believe everybody said an 8 or a 10, and that's like a 10. And then your shield there has a quick connect. So let's get in. Pull that heat shield down so we can see it. There's your connection there. You can see the little red tab. Pull the red tab down, pull the power off. Pull that nut off there, and then pull that heat shield off, because that heat shield stays on. It's mounted to the block, stays on, but it's also a third bolt holding the starter in. So I'm going to take those off real quick. Now the sketchy part, getting my big butt under this truck, even with it lifted up off the ground, no easy task. I'm 6'3", about 240, and a little thick through the top, so it's going to be tight under there. But got to come in the bottom to get to the 2 starter bolts. And from what the internet says, they're 13, so I suspect I'll be able to reach them. A little sketchier than I wanted that to be. It's awful tight under there for me, but can't really see them. But got the 2 bolts, and there's the old starter. Let's put the new one back in and hope that it goes all right. All right, the starter is back where it belongs. I just gotta torque it to spec. And spec is supposedly, according to the good old Googler, somewhere between 32 and 37 foot-pounds. So I have my torque wrench set to 35. Because, you know, let's split the middle. Well, I thought I was tighter than that a minute ago. To have not hit torque yet. What's going on here? Why haven't I? Well, that's interesting. Keeps snugging itself up side to side, and technically you're not supposed to use a torque wrench as an actual wrench, but here I am. Okay, there's one side supposedly torqued, and now the other one's a little loose again. You know, it's probably not super accurate with the foot-long extension either. Okay. God bless America. Let's get out from under my truck. All right, now got to put the power cables back on the sides here before I can put everything back together. Get this fender liner out of my way. All right, so reverse order of operations. You got your power connector that's going to be that pigtail that's floating somewhere in the ether, and then the post that your power is going to go to, and then that heat shield's got to go back on with that little 10 mil. I just got to figure out where that power wire went. Folks, before we close up shop, now that we've got everything reconnected on the other side, or at least supposedly reconnected, throw the battery cable back on so we got power. Let's make sure we're going to start before we put the wheel back on and fender liner and all of that funness. Huh, what do you know? First try. That's unusual as of here lately. And my check engine light's gone, so that's cool. Still a little annoyed that a throttle body code has caused me this much grief. And that's twice. Let's try one more for fun. Oh, it's a beautiful sound. It's amazing when things work. All right, so I put a new throttle body on this week, put new fittings on the cold air intake. Those are stainless with Teflon wrapping to fit there. And then put a new starter in today. And I hope that's it for the annoying, inconvenient repairs for a while. Like I told my wife, it'd be a whole different thing if like the truck just took a dump on me and like the transmission went out, or I dropped a lifter or something. Like those are big repairs. You know it's down. With the throttle body throwing codes, or the starter throwing codes, I guess, throwing throttle body codes, I guess, it's more of an inconvenience thing. Like you walk out in the morning expecting to be able to get in your vehicle and go to work, and click, nothing, click, nothing, click, and it does turn on, and you're shake, rattling, and rolling, and throwing engine codes, and it's inconvenient. I'd rather it be a big problem than a small problem, but luckily small problems can be fixed. And got to put the fender liner back in and the wheel back on, and we're done here, and I'm back in business with my 2018 Silverado. Thanks for watching, you guys, and see you next time.